Welcome back. And we're going to have an interesting conversation this morning. We're going to be talking about nutritious foods that you can buy for Christmas. And I've been joined by our state-registered nutritionist, Akosua Yiadom. She's going to help us to understand the processes for making the choices that we need to make. Good morning, Akosua. How are you doing?
Good morning, Kwaku. I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Fantastic. So, nutritious foods for Christmas. Let's go across the entire spectrum and see what is it that we should be looking out for this Christmas as we do our grocery shopping.
Okay, so to start with, Christmas is a period where everybody is expecting that at least we have something different from what we are used to, or there is always food around, there is always whatever I want to eat, whatever we eat as a family. Sometimes it could be something we eat once in a while, but Christmas, you realize that there's a lot sitting in our various homes as far as eating, as far as anything is concerned. And we have to make sure, in as much as we are having fun, we are celebrating the birth of our Lord, we are putting something also good into our system because our bodies are the temple of the Lord. That's on a lighter note, but you just have to make sure that whatever you are shopping as far as groceries are concerned has to be something which is considered safe and nutritious for your family, because we are not just eating so that after Christmas there is something else we'd have to take care of as far as health concerns or issues are concerned. We want to stay active, we still want to have fun, but still make sure we pump goodness into our system.
Now, one of the favorite food items on every table at Christmas, at least in Ghana anyway, is chicken. Okay? We love our chicken, right? Now, of course, there's layers, there's broilers, and all that. Tell us, how do we know that what we're eating is healthy?
Okay, so to start with, sometimes because it's Christmas, you realize that, on a regular day, Kwaku, we could have bought a layer or broiler for, let's say, 50, 60 cedis. But it's Christmas and it's like a rush hour, so everybody wants to cash in. People want to make a lot of profit. So you realize that the prices of chicken will shoot up. Okay, so this is a classical example of a healthy...
Looks very healthy.
Yes, a healthy layer. Yes, so you make sure that the feathers are bright.
Okay.
The feathers are bright. You make sure that the lobe, that is the hair. So let's consider this. This will give us much information.
Yeah,
so
six signs
of a strong, healthy chicken.
Hen.
They have a brightly colored combs.
Okay.
That's the red thing up there.
On the top
then
of the head.
they have high energy.
Okay.
So you realize that it's
They're very
not
vibrant.
they are not dull.
Okay.
Then they have strong and protective eggshells. That is if they are layers. Their eggs are fresh.
Okay.
Yes. So that is it. Then the yolk, that is something you wouldn't be able to see, until you've taken the bird home. But I would want you to pay attention to the brightly colored combs, and then the high energy. Then you pay attention to the shiny feathers.
Okay.
The how healthy hen or fowl, a layer or a broiler, let me put it that way, depends greatly sometimes on the quality of feathers. So you look out for brighter feathers, something very, very nice. You can clearly see that this is a well-nourished hen. Yes. Yeah. So you make sure there is consistency as far as egg production is concerned.
Okay.
Some will pass for people who are into farming, or if I have to go to the farms to make sure I'm picking my broiler or my layer from. But if I'm buying from the market, I have to make sure that I'm looking out for some of these points projected on our screen. Yes, so you have to make sure that you are buying something which is healthy. You have to look out for what do we call it? Infraorbital sinusitis. That is.
What does that mean?
Okay, so there is this passageway between the nasal area. It sometimes makes it difficult. There is this image I sent them. I don't know if they have it. The quality of the layer or broiler is greatly affected. You have, I don't know how to put it. It's not a sore, but you feel that there is this inflammation.
Okay.
Yes, between the nasal area. In some, you realize that it's beginning to. I don't know if rot is a good thing to say, but it looks so bad on the nasal passage area. Yes,
of the chicken's face.
Of the chicken's face.
Okay.
Yes, and you have to look out for brightness in their eyes. Sometimes you have them having sunken eyes, where it looks like they are almost losing their eyes. Yes, they are drunk. So you look out for that too. The eyes are supposed to be bright. Yes, the chicken should be much alive. You should see that what I am buying is strong. It's not dull. So you look out for those two main have to or look you have to look out for these two we mentioned. That's the sunken eyes and then the infraorbital sinusitis. It's something you can clearly see. If I'm buying and I see that there is something wrong with the beak, there's something wrong as far as the nasal area is concerned, there's something wrong as far as the eye area is concerned, it means that this is something not too healthy, or this is something you should say no to.
So let's try and recap a bit. So brightly colored comb on the head of the hen, bright feathers, high energy, the eyes should be bright, around the beak area you shouldn't have any infection or no signs of disease or any illness there. And then of course if the eggs that it lays
should be fresh.
They should be fresh. Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's move on from. So that's our chicken sorted out, right? What else can we have on our tables, and how do we select?
Rice.
Good. I think jollof rice is a staple for Christmas, isn't it?
Yes, and then we have fried rice in the rice balls. In fact, in Ghana we use rice a lot in our meals. So you have to make sure that now we have rice in our system. Yes, this is what we call local. They are saying we shouldn't say local, we should say Ghanaian rice. Yes. So yes, we have brown rice, we have variety. So you have to make sure you are eating what we have here, because last week we spoke extensively, for myself, about the benefits of eating the brown rice or what we have here. They are loaded in fiber. You have everything intact from endosperm to the germ to everything, fiber, everything is there. But when you compare it to the others or the imported ones, you have just the starch. That is the endosperm. That is all you have. Fiber taken, germ taken, where much of the nutrients, as far as iron is concerned, is taken away. So make sure you are buying good rice. So
I think we need to clarify why those other things are important as well. So the rice that is not so polished and not so refined, what are the things that we will lose if we don't have that kind of rice?
Okay, so you realize that there is a reason why for the imported ones you have them being fortified sometimes. It's because everything, almost everything, as far as nutrients is concerned, has been taken from the food. You've taken the bran away. That is where fiber is, and you know the importance of fiber in our meal. Dietary fiber is very, very critical or important for us. You have the germ, where a good amount of the nutrients, as far as iron is even concerned. You know, iron deficiency results in anemia. And if you have some of these zinc, if you have some of these important nutrients being taken off, with you left with just the endosperm, that is the white, it means that we are not helping. At the end of the day, what we are just pumping into you is starch or glucose. And we said that for people who have issues with their glucose levels, as far as diabetics are concerned, you don't help them. With people who have issues with your blood pressure, obviously fiber and those minerals coming, or vitamins, minerals and vitamins coming in will do something for them. But if you are constantly loading your system with just glucose or starch, it means that you're going to put pressure on your heart, because if there is excess, some is converted into fat. They begin to line the passageway of blood. And then it makes it difficult for your heart to pump blood like it is required to pump. So that affects your blood pressure. And for people with diabetes, it increases their glycemic index. So you have a higher glycemic index for the polished rice, because every other good thing has been taken away. You just have starch. And so if you take a bowl of polished rice and I take a bowl of unpolished rice, or what we have here, it means that I have some amount of goodness being pumped into my system. You are not my co-equal as far as nutrients are concerned.
Okay, so let's take a look at what a final dish of great Christmas jollof looks like. And then we'll come back and talk about the veggies and other things that you need to add to complement.
Okay, Ghana jollof.
Yes, fantastic. So we have the meat there.
Just goat meat.
Now, this is goat meat.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, of course, jollof doesn't become this color by itself.
Yes.
It's rice cooked in
Stew.
a stew that has been already prepared. All right. So let's go back and let's talk about how the things that we can include in our stews to make it really healthy, really nutritious as we are preparing our jollof.
Okay, so that will have to do with vegetables.
Okay.
And for our jollof, we need oil. What oil are you using? Canola is very good. Coconut oil is very good. People go like, canola is very expensive. Sunflower is very expensive. Coconut oil is okay. Or you can use them. There are people cooking with palm kernel
Really?
oil. Yes, there are people cooking with that's coconut oil, kube, angwa, that's how they call it.
Okay.
Or there is this one, oil from granules. Yes, it's common in Kumasi. It's easier to find a lot of these things. You talk about them and you see them. Yes, and then shea butter. So we have it all. We have oils here. Instead of using the oh Lord, the saturated oils, you should go in for the healthier ones, the vegetable oils. Olive oil is easier to find around. So make sure what you are buying as far as oil is concerned does not contain a lot of trans fat. And these are clearly written on our food labels, but we don't read labels. That's the problem. We are not reading labels, because if I pick this item, you as a producer is supposed to tell me everything sitting in the product. They do, because the laws, the FDA laws, regardless where you find yourself, Ghana FDA, US FDA, wherever you find yourself, you are supposed to let me know what is sitting
in the food.
Okay. They do it, but how many of us, even between you and myself, Kwaku, yes, how many of us in our country here will pick a food item and take the pain to read the labels and know that it contains this amount of saturated fat or trans fat? The trans fat is what is very, very harmful to our system. So we should make sure that we are reading our labels, knowing what is sitting in there, knowing what we are taking into us as food. Yes, so oil for that. Tomatoes. By God's grace, we have a lot of tomatoes around. You go to Agbogloshi, you go to wherever around, any good grocery shop from Agbogloshi to Maxmart, you can find tomatoes. Make sure that the tomatoes are not rotten. They are something you would want your body to know. Make sure your vegetables are fresh. Make sure you go deeper. I am buying it, so I should be able to question you as far as every information I need.
Let's go through all the veggies that are there and tell us about the goodness we can get.
We may not use all of them.
Don't need to use
we have garlic.
If you can just talk us through the different things that are there and then the goodness in each.
Okay, tomatoes. Tomatoes is richer in lycopene. It's an antioxidant.
Okay.
Very, very good for our bodies. We have garlic. Garlic is very good. It's a spice. It's a herb. People use garlic to treat all forms of conditions, including flu, colds. It's in the family of ginger, and like the ginger benefits, you get a good number
and
of
onions as well.
Yes, and onions, obviously. Then you come into ginger, onions, pepper. Pepper is also very, very, very good. Okay. Yes, and then they are all good for inflammation. So ginger, pepper, garlic, they serve almost similar or same benefits. Then, okay, sometimes for my stew, I would want to blend a bit of carrot in there and green pepper for flavor to get a very good aroma. Okay. Or yes, to add on to the effervescence. Then you have obviously some people want to add what we call processed tomatoes, but you can decide to take it out. You make sure you have a good amount of fresh tomatoes. You blend them, put it on fire, make sure you drain a good amount of the liquid from it, and you have something closer. Though your jollof wouldn't look colorful like you would want to have it. There are people, I wouldn't sit here and say I don't use it. I use sometimes a bit of the...
As in tomato paste?
Yes, okay. I add a bit of it. Okay. But even with that, like I said, if you are reading the labels, you will choose A over B.
So my question is, the tomato paste, what's the value? Is it only for color, or it also adds extra value in terms of, nutritional benefit?
Kwaku, if I say that this product has been fortified or it has been enhanced on, it means that I have taken the original thing that was supposed to be there from there. So now I am adding on. Or I have taken something I think is very important. And so I have to add something on. Come to think of it, if you take a fresh tomatoes and a thin tomato, where you have brine, salt, added sodium and all that being pumped into it, do you think that it can be compared? It comes no closer to fresh tomatoes, because that is how God made it. It has everything in there. So I will choose natural over, or I will choose organic over what has gone through processing any day. So it's not even something, I don't even have to give an answer. Natural has everything intact. Yes, as compared. But sometimes we are so challenged. For instance, if we find ourselves in this country where you don't get certain food items throughout the year. So if I'm struggling to get tomatoes, am I saying that I'm not going to use it? So but limit.
Yes, but Akosua, if I have fresh tomatoes, can I augment it with tomato paste?
A little, you can. I do it.
Okay. And what will be the extra value of that?
As far as I'm concerned, my main focus is
the tomatoes,
on the fresh tomatoes.
The fresh ones, so okay.
Because something has been taken and a lot has been added, including sodium, which is salt. So mostly you have people with BP, high blood pressure. Yes, I was talking the normal Ghanaian talks. If you have them coming to you, they go like, oh, mint tomatoes. So because most of our processed foods have added...
Because of the brine content.
Because of the brine content.
Okay. All right, okay. So I find it interesting because the vegetables we're looking at just now are very, very colorful, right? Now, I was once, in my studies, the more color you have, the more likely you have to have also antioxidants. How important is that?
That's why I say having a balanced meal. You realize that if you pick a plate of food from elsewhere and now things are changing here, but you pick our food, it is fufu granule soup. As far as you're concerned, you see white and then brown. But you pick a plate of meal elsewhere, or sometimes, let's say we had a lunch outside in a very good restaurant, or hotel. You realize that the plate is filled with goodness. It's colorful. The reason why they are saying that is because imagine me having a plate of salad, making sure that I am eating something which is balanced. Let's say I have plain boiled rice, and then I have vegetables, plain vegetables, or I have avocado salad on the side. I have a bit of soup. I have a bit of sauce. At the end of the day, I have something colorful to eat from. And I am assured of getting every bit of nutrients
let's
from
talk about
every food I have on the plate or on the table.
Let's talk about eggs.
Eggs?
Yeah.
Okay, so like we spoke about...
I like eggs with my jollof.
Okay, so from the first sexy akoko we had, you could see that it had this fresh eggs. The yolk should be dark yellowish.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So this is something that hasn't been cut. This is fresh. You make sure it's so fresh. And one good way to test for fresh egg is to have a bowl of water. Just leave it gently in it.
Okay.
If it is good, you will see. Sometimes you find them settling down, and other times you find them floating. So that is a good egg.
Okay, no wait. So which one is good? The one that sinks or the one that floats?
The one that is
floating.
Yeah.
That's a good egg. If it sinks, there's a problem.
Well, sometimes the freshness, Kwaku, for instance, I entered into a supermarket and I picked eggs which have been there for 2 weeks, 1 month. Obviously, it is still good. It's something we can eat. You can keep eggs for at least 4 weeks. Okay. After 4 weeks, you have to now bring them into the refrigerator to make sure they stay fresh, or something bad can happen. They could go stale. Yes. So eggs which were brought today and eggs which have stayed for 2 weeks, obviously there will be a difference. Yes, but aside the fact that it can be sitting probably at the bottom but still, or floating but still will have issues. But you have to make sure you are checking for certain things. For instance, if they are cracked. If I buy eggs and they are cracked, it's a no-no. You don't have to take them. You have to make sure the shell is intact. Everything is intact. And then when we used to just shake egg like this. If egg is shaking really in this hard shell, it means that there is a reason for you to to be concerned. Yes. And after boiling your egg, you'd have to make sure the yolk stays in a certain way. I don't know if our first image is still there.
The one with the hen.
Yes, a hen. So we said dark
gold. The 6 signs of strong, healthy
dark
hen.
golden. Yes.
So at the bottom there, we can see the egg, and it says what? A dark golden yolks. Okay, all right. So the yolk has to be dark.
It's because of how we boil our eggs here. Yes, that's why you have it changing sometimes. Yes, in color. But eggs shouldn't cook more than beyond 5 minutes. It's not meat, it's egg. I can boil my egg for just 2 minutes.
I see.
Yes. So ideally, eggs are not supposed to...
Wait, hold on, Akosua. So you boil the water and then you drop the egg in for 2 minutes, or...
I let everything start.
Everything starts.
That's how I do.
For 2 minutes.
Mine. Yes,
really?
2 to 5 minutes. Eggs are, because you realize that our eggs are always hard, especially the ones we buy. The Akosua we
like the hard, firm, well cooked, well boiled.
That's what you call well cooked. You can break egg. We are cooking meals with fresh eggs, and we are eating. Yeah, so you don't have to cook eggs beyond a certain number of minutes, because you end up destroying some of the goodness in it.
Tell me about that. Yolk and albumin.
Okay, so much of the nutrients are deposited in the chalaza, or what we call the egg white. And then the yolk itself too is very, very, very good. It helps. But the reason why we are always talking about eggs and saying that we should cut down on eggs has to do with the fact that, Kwaku, you are a full-blown adult. I don't know if you grow any taller. Yes, you may add on a little bit, but the Kwaku we know is likely not to change. You keep looking like this until age decides to set in. Unlike children or babies, they are now growing. Their nutritional needs are kind of on the rise. But for a woman who is an adult, probably in her menopausal age, like becoming a grandma, you are not physically involved in a whole lot of things. For instance, you probably are on pension. Why do you want to overload your system with some of these things? Because let me just let you in on it, Kwaku. You realize that children exercise a lot.
Yeah.
They are able to use a lot of energy. They go to school, they sweat, they do a lot as far as release of energy is concerned. So let me say that their metabolism is on the rise, and their nutrient needs are also on the rise, because they need to grow. They need to build a lot of muscles. They need to make sure that they become Kwaku. They don't stay stunted. And stunting, there was a research, stunting can really be improved on if every child, for instance, found in the north where you have a lot of stunting cases coming from, is given an egg every day for 6 months.
I see.
Yes. So children will need eggs.
Okay.
Yes, as compared to adults. I'm not saying it's bad. I take eggs too. I'm a fan of eggs. But just make sure that you don't go beyond a certain quantities. Okay. Everything has to be within a required portion. So I can decide to take eggs every day, but looking at me, I have no medical condition, so I can decide to take the egg yolk out. Okay. After taking, let's say, 2 whole eggs, so that I can benefit from the goodness of the chalasa, because it is very good for us. But taking the yolk so much into your system will definitely affect your blood lipids. Levels. That is your cholesterol.
Cholesterol levels. Okay, let's talk about fruits finally. Fruits.
Okay, so when I was preparing it, Angie was like, "Oh, won't we do drinks?" I was like, "How do you expect me to go and sit there and promote drinks?" Yes, we are advocating for
you can't have fruit drinks.
Fruit juice.
Yeah.
That is juice.
Juice
and drinks are different.
Really?
A drink means juice plus syrup.
I don't know how fruits and drinks are different.
Drinks? Kwaku, I'm telling you, a drink.
You mean fizzy drinks?
A drink, any drink. If they are telling you it is juice can't go beyond a certain number of days. So if I find a product sitting...
you mean fresh juice?
Yes, if I find a product sitting on the shelf of a supermarket and you're telling me this is juice and it's been there for a year, you've lied to me.
Okay.
Because orange juice can never go for 6 months sitting on a shelf. Something needs to be done to it to make sure we prolong the shelf life. Something needs to be done because sometimes they are telling you it's apple juice. You are drinking apple juice and you don't even feel apple in it. Mango juice, and there is nothing mango about it. That is total lies. So juice means that liquid from the pulp of a fruit. Orange juice should look orange. It should taste orange.
Okay.
Yes, so if you tell me orange juice and it doesn't taste like orange, it is not juice, it's a drink. A drink means that they've taken the juice.
If you pasteurize, it will last longer.
They've taken the juice. I'm blue skies. It can never go for
but that's
months.
Not pasteurized.
That's why, so that is a juice. Kwaku, you can't tell me that this is a juice and it's sitting on the shelf life for a year. It is not juice. Something has been done to it. Something has been taken away. We've added syrup, which is basically sugar solution, and then we've added preservatives because orange juice won't sit for more than 3 days if you don't even freeze it.
Okay. All right.
So we make sure we take fruits and take juices. Yes.
Something fun to do with juices, smoothies.
Okay. So in as much as I was projecting juices, we don't have birthdays all the time. Christmas comes once in a year. So if you feel for that Coke, that malt, you can go for it. It's fizzy. But sometimes we just have to allow you to cheat small when it comes to making sure you are eating well. Because, for instance, you meet people who are so used to Coca-Cola. You meet people who are so used to a particular fizzy drink.
Yeah, but you can use fruits to also do things like smoothies, right?
That's what I'm telling you,
Without necessarily having Coke.
I will preach organic stuffs any day, but let's say once in a while I feel for it. Come on, there's been days I felt for malt, I went and bought it, or I got it. Do you get it? I wouldn't be here and make it look like I do everything perfectly, because sometimes you can't. It's something you are craving for, and we grew up used to it. It's now that we are trying to adjust. Yes, smoothies is a good way of making sure that you also pump in a lot of goodness into your system. For instance, if I am using, let's say, coconut water with a bit of beetroot in there, with pineapple in there, at the end of the day, I am tasting something good, but making sure I am pumping something very, very nutritious into my system. And if you are taking drinks, we are not co-equals.
All right, thank you very much. We've been speaking with Akosua Yiadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist, helping us to understand how to make our Christmas table very nutritious, as well as colorful and fun, as we've always done. Akosua, so where can people find you, reach you?
Okay, so on Instagram, it's nutritionist Akosua on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Nutritionist Akosua, and then you can contact me on 0243 350206 for any issue regarding your nutritional health.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.